Hello, I'm Ari, and today I have an unboxing for you. Because of the color choices was one of the reasons I picked up this month's art box. I'm not really crazy about acrylics. However, this one had some of my favorite colors, which are red, pink, yellow, orange kind of family, the warm colors. And it's a new box for this company. They've only had them for a couple months, and you've seen some other boxes of theirs on this channel, but it's the watercolor box. It's the Letsmakeart boxes. So if you've watched any of those videos, you know Letsmakeart has 3 types of boxes. They have a lettering box, so if you like hand lettering and want to learn some of that, they have an art box for that. Letsmakeart has the watercolor box, which I'm really enjoying. And then last month in February, they came out with the Letsmakeart journal box. And so every month, if you're new to journaling, you can journal along with them. And that's what this box is the first Letsmakeart journal box. Some months they have acrylics, some months they have watercolor. February was acrylic and April will be acrylic. April they're doing blues. So the March box included watercolor. So I kind of wish I would have picked that one up. But as we go along with this, I will explain my reasons why. But we'll get into some journal pages. So let's get to it. Letsmakeart art journal box. And again, their box always says, "You're good at this." This is a friendly reminder to set aside your to-do list to play, dabble, and paint. Art journaling can be whatever you want it to be. The pages can be fast or slow, paintings or drawings, snippets of life, pasted on a page, or pretty painted song lyrics. There's 2 types of art recipe cards. There are prompt cards for journaling as well as technique cards to expand your art making skills. You can use one of each to make a page in your journal or use them separately. It's all up to you. There's tutorial videos. You also can find those on the Letsmakeart YouTube channel. So remember, even if you don't subscribe to this box, you can see the tutorials for February and March. Sharing is caring. We love to see what you're making. Letsmakeart Matter also includes a postcard. Spark a Start. This month's theme for art journaling is Spark a Start. A fiery warm colors and art recipe cards are here for you to cheer you on as you face a blank page. If your mind tries to trick you into thinking that you have to be perfect before you begin, just start by making a mess. Sometimes we forget that practice is making art. And if anything, that's what I'm trying to stress on this channel, is practicing and playing with your paints or markers is being creative, and it is making art. It may not be the exact art you want, but it's still making art. Taking the first step will lead to knowing what to do next, so just start. And you may, this says an oval mop brush, flat wash, 1/2-inch brush. And I'm not sure if I have all that even myself. This is the ingredients included. Isn't this cute? So we have all the worms or squiggles, which I don't particularly like because they make a mess. But look at these cute little reusable, I'm not sure what they're made out of, but like a cotton type material, little pouches. Oh my God, that's so cute. Look at that. So let's open the first one. This one contains our paint for the month. And we have yellow, school bus yellow. We have pink Cadillac, nice pink color. Red Hot, And these are Deco Art Paints, Americana Multi-Surface Satin Paints. So I believe you can pick these up at places like Joann Fabrics and Michael's. So if you don't have this box, or you just have similar colors, Pumpkin Patch is the final color, a nice orange. So if you can see that, those are our colors for the month. And that was one reason I don't like acrylics very much, but I thought I used Art Journal a lot and used acrylics, so it's not like I don't have experience with them. So I just thought this would be a fun box to try because I have some experience with art journaling and I really like the colors. These are some of my favorites together. So we have the first pouch. I mean, think of all the little uses you could use that, even if you don't want to put the paints back in it. It's great. And our second little pouch, we have a red. So here's our red Posca pen. That's 1.8 to 2.5 millimeters, bullet-shaped nib, PC. So that's quite one of the larger nibs on these Posca pens if you're familiar with them. I actually don't own a lot of Posca pens. I have the white and black in several different size nibs, but overall I don't own a lot and I don't have a red, so that's kind of fun. Another Posca pen out of the box. This one has the really tiny nib, so I'm excited about that. I really like my white Posca pens. So this is the 0.7 millimeter Posca white. We also have a small Yes paste, clean after each use to prevent gluing the lid shut. That's good advice. So some paste for gluing down different things in your journal. So that one's empty. Let's Make Art Matter is one of the things I really love about the Let's Make Art boxes. So inside you get some graphite paper, so if you want to transfer an image into your journal, you can do that. So we have the postcard, so plain paper, so that you can send a postcard to someone who needs a little uplift. Every month we come together as a community to create small acts of kindness. This month we are sending encouragement to Esme. Esme is a beautiful girl with an anxiety disorder. It causes her to doubt her ability to be successful in life and friendships. And at the end of each month they have a tutorial to help you if you want to. Otherwise, you just create your own art and it's pre-stamped and addressed so you can send it right out to their person of the month. So that's one of my favorite parts of this. We have a packet of prompt cards and a packet of technique cards. So here's our prompt cards. We have spark. Is there a word that gets you excited about creating? Prompt 2. Let's make a bio page. One way to get over the fear of a new blank page is to start by making the first page all about you. Prompt 3. Who are the people you admire the most? Try writing a list. Think about what it is about them that makes them inspiring. Maybe another artist or writer, someone in pop culture. What are the attitudes or ideas they have that you would like to cultivate in your own life? So those are our prompt cards for the month. And then we have our technique cards. Making a wonky word, embellish a photo with dots, and enhance a drawing with collage paper. So we have collaging. dots using the Posca pen and the water or the acrylic background and kind of a design. So those are our technique cards. So you can choose a prompt and a technique card for each page, or just one for each page, and go with your own ideas. Then we have Carpe Diem Mixed Media Traveler's Notebook Insert, which right now I can't find anywhere else on the internet. I believe Letsmakeart will have them in the store eventually, but right now with their journal box going out every month, they do not have enough in stock. Their art journal box has been really popular. So here's the Carpe Diem. I was most excited about this because I've always had like huge journals, art journals. Like I either convert a book or I just buy an art journal. And what I was excited about in this one is small, and it's almost too small. I almost would rather get 2 of these a month. But let's count the pages. But I like that. I like that. It didn't feel so overwhelming, and that I could have, if I did 1 a month, I could have 12 of these on a shelf. Or if I did 2 a month, I could have 24. But it just feels a little less overwhelming than a large journal. But I also don't like a lot of clutter. So I'm gonna try it for a couple months and see how I like this size journal. But I like the size. So it has one insert with 10 pages, 310 GSM recycled silk linen paper. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So if you do half pages, just one side of the page, you can do 20 pictures in here, 20 journal entries. If you do a full spread or a combination, you're going to get less. So either 10 full page. Well, actually, I don't think that's true. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 9 full page spreads and 2 smaller ones, front and back. So the paper is really heavy duty. Do you see how heavy duty that is? It's like really, really thick cardstock. So it should handle, it'll be interesting to see how it handles watercolor. It definitely feels like it's going to handle acrylic paint really well. So our mixed media journal, and you get one of those every month. And the last thing in the box is our ephemera. So our different paper, our words. When I was journaling on a regular basis, I just kept kind of like a little pouch of extra, different words that I would find in magazines and other things. So we get our Frida art. We kind of get a piece of paper that has kind of different areas, so you can cut out different things, whatever appeals to you, and make your journal. So I think this is going to be fun. So this box is $35 a month, just like all their other boxes are $35 a month with shipping included. And then, so $35 a month or $45 once they're in the store until they go on sale. February's art journal box, this is what was included. We have the graphite paper for 2-ounce acrylic paints, the Deco Art Americana multi-surface satin paints. We have some Yes paste. We have 2 Posca pens. We have the paper for collage. We have 3 technique cards, 3 prompt cards, a media journal, 2 cotton type pouch bags. We have our Let's Make Art Matter and Spark a Start. So it's a really great idea. At first, as I said, I chose to do this one because it was a brand new box to their site. They've had the hand lettering and the watercolor, but the journal box is a new item in their store. What I love about it is if you're just starting journaling, sometimes it's hard to come up with ideas, but I use my art journals for expressing what's going on and inside of me or in my life or just to make art. Trying this out this month, I'm going to see how this works out for me. Does it work out to have some prompt ideas? Because you still, everybody isn't going to use these papers the same way. And everybody's not going to paint the same background. Unless you follow their tutorials exactly, you're going to end up with some different things. And I think I'm going to do it my own way, but I may follow a tutorial and then do it my own way. So we'll see how that turns out. So the videos on YouTube, you can access those without buying the kit. So if you have some paints on hand and you just want to follow along, you're able to do that. So the pros is I think these kits are really great for someone just starting out in journaling, or if you've kind of run out of ideas and you need some new inspiration, either buying the kit for a few months and getting into the flow. I really like the mixed media journal. It's really heavy duty, and I think I'm going to like journaling in that, but again, I don't know. I think it's not so great if you already have a process down. And that's what I'm worried about is I have a way I art journal, which may be the same as everybody else or it may be different. But I'm wondering how these tutorials go, how following the tutorial leads to a page. Maybe do a page just with my own intuition of what I would do. And we'll see how that goes. And then from there, I will decide whether or not I just go on my own and finish the prompts for the month and my art journal, and then I'll do a speed paint of those, and then we'll catch up at the end of the video. We'll talk a little bit more about this box and my final thoughts on it and what I plan to do going forward. Right now, I'm thinking I will not subscribe to this box only because I already have a lot of acrylic paints from my past art journaling, and I'm not sure I want to have guided art journaling. So follow along the video with me and let's see how this works out. So my only hesitancy with this kit is art journaling to me is a very private process. It's the place that you go to put down your feelings, your thoughts, what you hate, what you love. It's a place to put down art that's supposed to be personal. And I'm wondering, with such guided prompts and techniques, how that's going to work out. So if you're like me and you're wondering, let's go through this together and kind of see how it works out. And the nice thing about these boxes is you can jump on their website and just purchase one box. You can subscribe. You can subscribe to get the lower price and then decide which boxes you want, because they put the boxes, the April boxes, this is the first week in March, and the April boxes are already up. So you know if you want to buy them. You have plenty of time. Decide on whether or not if you want the next box in the subscription or if you want to skip that month. And so I skipped March because I had just bought some Daniel Smith dots and I really didn't need any more. And I wasn't overly interested in the subject. In a way, I wish I would have picked it up just because it's watercolor and I would like to see how these journals react with watercolor, but I'll probably just do one page in here for you so you can see how it works with different media. So let's get started, and let's get started with our first page, and we'll go from there. I may end up splitting this video into two and having more of it in the coffee hour. So let's go get creative with the Let's Make Art journal box. All right, so what I did is I tried to do a self-portrait in my kind of cartoon style. And I'm thinking I should outline it because if you watch the video for this first page of the art journal with Let's Make Art, they did like an image printed on your home printer and then you paste it on. But because mine is right on the background, I feel like I should probably outline it. And outlining, I really don't think I do a good job at because I'm not very patient. But I will try to be patient today because this is my art journal and this is taking time for myself. Now, I used to art journal a lot, and then somewhere over the last year or so, I kind of just stopped. But as you know, I subscribe to the Let's Make Art watercolor box. I just started that recently. And then I saw that they had the art journal box. And I thought, well, it would be fun to try out because I liked art journaling. There was nothing, really wrong with it. It wasn't like I hated doing it. It was just, once I started making art and trusting a little bit more in my process, then I kind of put aside the art journal and just started making art outside of my art journal. But I still think an art journal is a really good place to explore and try things that maybe you're feeling a little bit scared about trying on just a regular piece of paper. Because I find that sometimes I feel I'm scared to mess up paper. And so if you were raised in a household where they would say, use both sides of the paper, don't waste paper, it kind of gets ingrained that it's a waste to make mistakes. And I don't think it is. I think it's really important to make mistakes because we learn more from our mistakes than we do our successes. But that said, I really don't like making mistakes. And so the inking process is one of those places where I really struggle because it is so final. And I kind of feel like there's more magic in the first drawing you make over inking over it. But this one's not too bad. All right, I'm gonna let that dry a minute. So today we're making our first art journal page with the Let's Make Art journal. And I'm seeing the positive of this. Even just, I went online and watched the videos, and you can follow along. So if you're not feeling confident in what you want to draw or do with the prompts, you have a guide, and I think that's really great. But I was thinking, because I have some art experience making art pages and I just go with my inspiration, I thought, is this going to be really limiting to my art journal? Because I feel like art journals are one of those places where you should be able to be free and just listen to your inner muse and create without. So I thought, how are they going to do these sessions that gets you creative without, you know, everybody creating the same thing, or, you know, like, how is that creative? How is that letting your spirit shine through what you draw? But I was really surprised. I felt very inspired by, let's say, the you know, like, as I said, I bought this box because of the colors this month. They were just bright and cheerful, and I will show you a couple pages in one of my old journals that demonstrate those color combinations and why, you know, I definitely was inspired to get this first box. I'm using my mono eraser because it seems to work on just about everything. So I'm going through and just removing the pencil marks from my drawing. This is what I do during Inktober, is I make my drawing and then I go back over it with ink, and then if I'm patient enough, I wait for the ink to dry and then erase my lines. All right, I guess I'm a little bit sidetracked. So as I said, I wasn't sure how it would work to make art together, you know, like having a subscription box that had you art journal, because as I said, art journal is, to me at least, a very personal process. You know, I'm putting down my feelings, my whatever's inspiring me, and you don't really want people to be judgmental of that, or you're not gonna, you know, what makes you happy on any given day or in your art journal isn't going to make other people happy, you know? So it just seemed like a weird concept to have a journal subscription box. However, what I did find as I looked through the videos was they did recommend, if you get inspired, to just take off on your own, do your own thing with the supplies provided. I also, you know, because I've been doing art journaling, I have some clear gesso, I have some texture molding paste on hand, so I may add that to another page. But I am really inspired by this month's colors because they're some of my favorite colors to paint with, is pinks, yellows, reds, and oranges. But I liked that they really just, they showed you how to do the prompt. So let's see, where are my prompt words? All right, so we have their sheets that come included. I have some sheets that I may use today. But we're using the prompt card. Get personal. What makes me happy? What are my favorite feel-good songs? What are some of the brave things I've done? This prompt pairs greatly with the wonky word prompt, but making a bio page. And then we're using the embellish a photo with dots. And so since I made a drawing, of course, I'm not embellishing a photo. But for you at home, if you would have put down a photo here, you just paste it down, and then, and she pasted it onto the background, as you can see. So she painted her background, then pasted it, and then embellished. But I'm kind of doing it a little backwards. It may or may not work. So as I was saying, the nice part about these boxes is that it does just allow you to be inspired and do your own thing with the supplies included. However, if you're not comfortable with that, it does allow you to follow the prompts and do that instead. So, as I said, I was worried about how would you all do the same project, but as I said, it inspires you to watch what they're doing, and it kind of helps you come up with an idea of how you want to approach this prompt or this week's project. You don't have to follow their exact rules, or, they don't have rules. They just do the prompt for the week, and then you can take off from that idea. My idea was I forgot how much faster acrylics dry out. Everybody comments that I have a sunny personality, so I thought I would outline myself in yellow first, and then kind of go into the orange. You know, there's no hard and fast rules to how this can or should look or work. So the nice thing about acrylics is you can kind of use them as very opaque, which means you can't see through them, to very diluted, like almost like a watercolor. I really wasn't liking the pink in there, so even though pink is one of my favorite colors too, I like this kind of sunny, happy feeling today. I'm gonna add more yellow. So the interesting thing is that it was really inspirational to see her create on the website or on the YouTube channel the different pages. And although this has Frida, the female artist from Mexico, as one of the main art things, you can pick anyone who inspires you and do a page about that. Maybe why they inspire you. We'll look at that in a little bit. I don't know if I want any of the red. See, I can't decide whether I want to color myself in or if I just want to leave it. I think for now I will leave it. All right, I'm going to use the What Makes Me Happy. Okay, maybe we want to wait a minute or so for that to dry. So while we're waiting for that to dry, so this is just a repurposed book. As you can see, it said Mother Goose. I haven't decided what I want to put on the cover of this one yet. And I kind of just stopped in the process. As you can see, I'm only a few pages into this one. But this was one of my, see the reds, pinks, and oranges. Those are colors that I tend to go back to on my journal pages. So this is one spread I did. And this I used the texture paste. Just little pieces of, the green wasn't supposed to be there. That leaked from something else. So it's kind of staining everything. But that was one art journal spread I did. This was another one, again with those pinks and reds. I really like the pieces of cursive writing, and this one has like an eye. Did dots. Some other textures. So that was just one project I did. I was feeling creative. So I tend to go with these darker or these bright colors. These are my favorite to paint with and see when I need an uplift or when I'm just happy. They tend to be the colors I go to. Here's just an elephant. And then I did kind of another elephant kind of on this really dark background. And I put, it was a late afternoon, the sun was going down, and the air was turning cooler. It had been a long, weary journey. And this one says, I must not think these things, I'm too old now. So what I do is I have different, you know, like if you come across a book, like at a book sale or something that's falling apart but is on a subject that has a lot of words you like, I cut out sentences and things from books that maybe would apply to life, and I put them in here. So this is what I do, is I tape the seam. Let's see, this one is just playing with color. Nothing. That day I was feeling oranges and yellows, black, some metallic. Doesn't have to ever be anything. It can just be play. That's what I think journals are great for. But this is what I do. I take a book. Every so often I cut out a page, but I gesso them with either clear or, in this case, because there's images, sometimes I leave the image. Like this is actually really cute. I may try to bring that one back. You can let those things show through or cover them up. And this is just an old children's book that I found at a garage sale and just decided to turn it into an art journal because it had nice large spreads that I could just be myself with. You know, it doesn't have to be stellar art. It just has to be whatever you feel like that day, whatever. Just start pasting things down. So, as I said, that was my worry with this journal, was how are they going to meet the needs of everybody that's journaling? And now I realize that they're just trying to inspire you to take, like, as a jumping off point with the, you know, what do the colors say to you? What do they make you feel? How can you use the colors that make you happy when you put them down on paper? You don't have to follow how they do it. At first, if you're new to journaling, that might feel more comfortable, and maybe you buy a couple kits and just follow along. But at some point, you should just start branching off and figuring out how to do what you'd like to do. All right, during my art haul video, I had picked up some of these transfers, mixed media transfers, and I've never really used these before, so, but what makes me happy is kind of the theme. So I think this is how we do it, but we'll see what happens. We can always cover it up, and maybe my paper is too wet at the moment. Because I knew I had bought this box, I thought they had some nice, these transfers, they had some, that was in the video, the Hobby Lobby art haul video. So at the Hobby Lobby, they had some of these on clearance for, I think I got these for $1. Okay, these take some rubbing. Seems to kind of turn white once it's down. So let's see. There we go. Okay, they said a little bit of this goes a long way. I normally don't paste things down in my art journals. I usually use the clear gesso and gesso them in, but I want to try everything, so we'll try it on this page, and I can always go over it with the... And I think I'm going to go over it with some clear gesso just to hold these things in. All right, now, so to me, the clear gesso is kind of like, if you've ever used like the Mod Podge, it's kind of like that. It makes a clear surface, so you can go over things. You know, so now that Smile Dealy is going to be under a layer, and so I don't have to worry about it peeling out of here. All right, I think that's all for the painting. I'm going to let that dry again. All right, so we're going back to this. So I have to think about what makes me happy. Delicious food. Being creative. My love. He is a sweetheart. Family. Learning new things. Iced coffee in the morning. Laughing daily. I think that's an important one. Favorite songs. Friends. Nature. Seeing others be creative. Feeling healthy. If you have any kind of chronic illness, you know that feeling healthy definitely makes it a lot easier to smile. I have a joy list that I keep of all my favorite things. Connection, and that's connection to myself, connection to others. That makes me happy. I feel like I can fit one more. Sharing ideas and thoughts, sharing my art, having other people share with me. So now, even though I have that done, I feel like I want to go in here and add some dots because I sort of like dots. There's probably so many things that I'm not thinking of that make me happy, but these are probably the top. I love really good food. I love my iced coffee. When I'm stumped, I always go to my joy list because I always can find something that will make me happy. I'm not on Facebook, so the Letsmakeart has a group on Facebook, so if you're on Facebook, that might be something for you to check out because I think you can see other people's creations. I know I'm probably one of those weirdos. I used to have a Facebook, but then I just didn't like what it was about. I tried to be positive and so many downers, and I need positive things in my life, and for me, Facebook is not one of those things. So I think I'm really happy with that. I like how it turned out. So this is our first journal page and beginning of our mixed media art journal. Let's open this. And I'm not sure how this will end up going. I may have to make several videos because of the time it takes to make each page. This makes me very happy, just seeing the bright colors. I really like the orange and yellow. So I'm really happy with this. I don't even mind that she's not colored in. Now I kind of wish I wrote smaller so I could fit, because like I can think of a lot of things now that make me happy. So remember, you could just have lists in your art journal. All right, let's talk about the Letsmakeart art journal box. So I'm really curious as to what you guys are thinking out there. Is this something that you would subscribe to? Is this something that would be of interest to you? As you recall, at the beginning of the video, I had some reservations about this, about how they could do a subscription box and that our artwork would be unique, or we're not just following someone else's muse, but our own. And I was happily surprised to find that the videos that Jessie provided for Letsmakeart were very inspiring. And although mine don't look anything like hers, I don't feel like that's a bad thing. I think what this kit allowed me to do is have some jump off points, some inspiration. And although I didn't do Frida this time, I still can do her on another page, but it made me think about who do I admire and why. This whole box was a lot of fun, and as you may know if you've watched some of my unboxings, acrylics are no longer one of my favorite things. I find them messy, and after working with watercolor for so long, I've kind of forgotten how to use acrylics. So this actually ended up being pretty fun for me because it's been a long time since I've done a journal page, and I was able to do 3. So the art subscription is $35. Why don't we start there? I know there's a better way to do this, but I haven't learned how. So we have the Letsmakeart website at www.letsmakeart.com. Then you go under subscriptions and go to the art journaling box. And I'm already on that page, but we'll just click on that. So this is April's box. This is what you'll be getting in April's box. Either a single box you can purchase for $45, and if you use the code down below that I'll attach in the description, maybe I'll be able to pop it up on the screen, but if I forget, it should be down in the description. You save $5 by clicking on that link and going to the page, and I get a few rewards points that I can use towards purchasing my box. So it's kind of a win-win, you know, the rewards, everybody can use them. These are the different projects they will be doing in April. So it's kind of a blue themed box. April's theme is mindfully present. If you order today, this will be the first box you receive. So those are the projects for April. And remember, you can view all of those projects on YouTube free of charge at the Let's Make Art YouTube channel. So again, here's the items in the box. So it's $45 for a single box. Subscribe and save. You pay $35. And again, I believe you can use that code to get $5 off your first subscribe box as well. And if you're looking for art journal stuff, but you're interested in other things, go to the subscriptions at the top by Let's Make Art, and they have a lettering subscription box. So if you like lettering or want to learn how, I'm in the I need to learn how group. That would be a really fun box. This month's theme for that is growth. And they're doing envelope fun, a quote, wreath cards, and a watercolor bookmark. So that is a letter subscription box, $35 on the subscribe and save. You can cancel anytime, but you also can skip a box. So I skipped the March journal box, and I can now just click on I want to receive the April box. So you don't even have to cancel. You can just well into the future skip each box and just come back here, and once you see what the box is, it's up usually the first week of the month, and you can see what's coming up and whether you're interested in purchasing that. So that's a nice thing about this art box over some other ones. You know what you're going to get, and you have a choice beforehand whether you're going to buy it or not. And of course, I have the watercolor subscription box that I subscribe to. And this looks like a very spring theme. Have ducks, boots with floral, eggs, carrots. And again, single box is $45, subscribe and save $35, and if you use the code below, again, you get a discount. They also have a shop where you can buy paintbrushes, you can buy individual kits if you'd like to just, like, say, get the bunny kit. They also, I guess I haven't mentioned that in other videos, they have resources. So they have digital downloads a beginner series for art journaling, a beginner series for lettering, and a beginning series for watercolor. So you can see this is March's journal box. This is February, which I just completed. So that's the two journals. So the February box that I just completed is the very first art journaling box they had. And now this is March box that I did not purchase, but I may do that as just do their videos and kind of show you how that works. But you can go to their videos and watch that yourself. So you definitely can So here's the Brave collage that they're doing for March, the first week in March. It's already up on YouTube. So if you'd like to join in that, you may not have the paper, but you can use whatever you have on hand and make your own journal entry. So the Art Journaling Beginning Series, Episode 1, Brushes. Episode 2, Writing Tools. Episode 3, Paper. Episode 4, Facing the Blank Canvas. So there's those. And again, in the shop, you can find many of the things. So if you're looking for paint, you can click on paint, and all the paint that they sell will come up here. So I just saw they have the Chroma Blends neon watercolors. Those look pretty. And here's the digital downloads for any of the outlines you may need to complete the videos online, and those are free. So you don't have to be subscribed in order to download the outline. So if you want to follow along, you can. And that's for the journaling, brush classes, and the watercolor class. You can find the PDFs in their digital downloads or under the projects. And then there's about their business. Here's Sarah Cray, who does the watercolor, Nicole Miyuki, who does the hand lettering, and Jesse Peterson, who does the mixed media journaling. It is a great group of people. From all my experiences so far, they're really quick to answer questions and help you out. And again, subscriptions, art journal box, and you can find April's box right there. So I hope that little walkthrough helps. So again, I have a code that will be in the description below or up on the screen, or both. So part of the reason I didn't get the March box was I just really didn't understand how this would work, how you could joint art journal, because as I've said probably several times in this video, that art journaling to me is a safe place for a person to go and journal their thoughts, their feelings, what makes them happy, what makes them sad, what brings them joy, what's on their mind, to vent about things. But it's also, that's one type of art journal, but I also have an art journal where that's my private space to put down ideas, and I'm not videotaping, I'm not doing anything, I'm just in the moment creating and coming up with ideas for projects and what I want to do next. So I was surprised that I was so inspired once I started playing around with this. And I had a lot of fun doing these projects. I'm kind of on board with this. So you may see a few more of these art journal boxes on my channel because I really am enjoying it. I had planned to do some journaling with you and have some coffee hours where we journal together. Hopefully that will happen in the next few months, maybe sometime soon. I can't say for sure at the moment. I'm pretty happy with how my pages turned out today. So just to run through, two of these will be, the other two besides this first one is in this video. The other two will be in a coffee hour because they did take a little bit longer than I thought they would. So we have the What Makes Me Happy page, and I did a drawing. It's not an exact likeness of me, but I did my word. What word comes to mind that speaks to me about creativity, that gets me excited? And the word I chose was discover. And I wrote down all the things I would like to discover this year or look into, things I want to try. And I used the inks on this page, and they did really well. They didn't bleed through. This paper really holds up well to mixed media. It's really thick, and if I like this layout of, maybe 10 pages a month or what was it, 9 spreads, that may be enough for me for art journaling. And where I was thinking I might need 2, I think this, if I could do this once or twice a week, I think I would feel satisfied putting my thoughts and ideas in these journals. So I'm kind of excited about this size. I feel like it's a really nice size, and you could make your own leather binder to keep a year's worth of these mixed media journals inside. So we had my What Makes Me Happy page. I did the Discover page. And then my last page I'm not really as happy with, but I did Helen Keller as my muse for life. And since I was a little girl, I really have appreciated her words and her perseverance, that she didn't let things hold her back. And I also put a little Ganesh here for the same reason. He's the remover of obstacles. And when you deal with either chronic health conditions or loss in life of any kind, her words speak to me, and they have since I was a young girl. I'm not very happy with how the spread turned out. The glue wasn't as sticky as I would like it to be, and I'm a little bit worried about the pieces that went over the crack. I think they're going to wear out quickly. So I guess I wouldn't recommend putting things over that. I tried to, get them into the crack really well. This one just didn't. So we tried inks on here. At the back, I did try a page of watercolor and some salt, and it wrinkled a little bit, but it held up pretty, you can still use the full back page. So I'm really impressed with this mixed media. This was the Carpe Diem mixed media journal, and as I said, I haven't been able to find it elsewhere, and they do not have it in the store yet because as soon as they get them in, they're sending them out with these journal boxes because they are so popular. So if you've been wanting to journal but didn't know where to start, this would be a great place to start. Or if you've stepped away from it, it would be a great step back into it. I guess the only thing I remember now about art journaling is that it is really messy. But it doesn't have to be. If I just didn't do the glue down things or the paste on this one, I used that texture paste for acrylics, and that's kind of fun to make texture on your pages and add interest. So I really love this month's colors. You know, it's right up my alley. And yeah, I don't have really anything negative to say about this. I'm not sure how much these journals run. You get a lot in these boxes, so I feel like they're a good value. You know, I know these paints probably run a couple dollars at like Michael's or Joann's, and Posca pens, you can get them for a couple dollars. But you're getting all these techniques, and month after month you're going to have different techniques and different prompts, and you can just keep switching those up and you're going to always have those. So for every month you subscribe, you'll start developing, and you can just randomly draw one of each when you're feeling uninspired and don't know what to draw. As I said, I was really expecting it not to be something I would be interested in, but even as a person that has art journaled before, it was a nice step back in after a couple years. And I think this layout with the small journal is going to keep me creating and documenting my life. I think it's really important for us. I have some of my grandmother's journals, and I love reading through those. I love feeling like I can hear her talking to me about what was important to her, and I'm trying my best to document my life for my kids and my grandkids someday, where they can look back at my life and understand a little bit more about me. So this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this, and keep looking out for my watercolor videos. I'm going to put February's watercolor videos in a coffee hour, and I will also be doing a wrap-up video for February. If you need any more information, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you about this box or any questions you might have. And I'd love to hear your thoughts about this box and whether it would be something you'd be interested in. Is it something that you would find fun? As I said, great company, great giving back to people that are going through hard times. And remember, you can always pause your subscription and start it back up every month or every other month, whatever works for you and whatever box really looks inspiring to you out of all three of the boxes. So the only box I haven't tried is the hand lettering box, and I will try it someday, I think, because that's one of those skills that is on my list to do. In fact, I don't know if I wrote it on here. I wrote calligraphy. So I hope you enjoyed today's content, and I look forward to doing some more great videos for you and introducing you to some more great supplies. And hopefully doing some of my own art. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, and I got creative. I hope you'll go get creative. Have a great day. Bye.